You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. And that shot should leave no doubt as to where we are tonight. It's the Toyota Center here in downtown Houston, Texas. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Tonight with us as well, the Book of Basketball author, Bill Simmons. Bill, great to see you.
It's great to be here. Nobody is more impressed than my 11-year-old son, who can't believe that he's playing a video game and gets to hear my voice. When he hears my voice just yelling at him, now he gets to hear me break down basketball.
But it's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, he likes it. Yeah.
DA, take it away.
Well, James Harden is both famous and infamous with his skill at getting to the foul line. Some don't like it, but Harden says free throws are a part of basketball. Either you're going to foul me or I'm going to score. Putting the pressure on the defense like that is tough, but that's what makes a good player. Kevin, no lies told there.
Well, no doubt, David, he is one of the best. Thank you. And the Rockets building their offense on the three ball. What will that approach look like if they ever want to make a championship run? There's got to be more to it than just the three-point shot.
You would think. They've been playing the math, and the math says volume of threes and percentages, and eventually it's going to come in your favor.
Do you believe that's the way to win?
I think it's the way to succeed during the regular season. We saw it with Toronto, especially in the Toronto-Milwaukee series. Toronto was playing those same averages, and then Van Vliet got hot, and a couple of guys started making threes, and all of a sudden they win that series. So that's a case of it did work. But I still think you need to know what you're doing when everything slows down. And we saw the Rockets 2 years in a row, like famously when they missed 27 threes. Mm-hmm. Those threes get a lot tougher when it's a game 7, you're tired, the other team's used to you, and the nerves are coming in, and that basket suddenly looking a little smaller. Mm-hmm. What's your plan B?
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. McCollum, the 2, and Hood, the 3. Anthony is out there with Whiteside, and it's Lillard in at the 1. And for the Rockets, Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Gordon is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Tucker in at the 5. That one goes. Count it. Like
how confident Westbrook is close to the rim. Gets high off the ground and releases his shot quickly.
Pass to Anthony. Kicks to Hood. Westbrook against Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. Whiteside trying to break free, and that one's good. Lillard.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative. They are strong.
And from everything we're hearing, Bill, the draft's one and done aspect may be coming to an end. Like it?
For me, the G League is the key to all of this. I would like to see the guys come right out of high school and go to the G League and have an actual infrastructure that's attached to the real team.
And the G League is having an effect on the NBA. There are a lot of former guys from that league playing in the big league.
And the other thing is, like, sports rights are becoming more and more valuable with the streaming services. And just the fact that you can watch a game anywhere you are. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it if you're in China. You can watch it if you're in Hawaii. And I think the G League should be a bigger thing. So if they can figure out a way to kind of steal college basketball's corner with some of this stuff while also preparing these guys. The one and done, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand what anyone gains from going to college for 5 months and then pretend they're a college student.
Whether he's attacking the basket or squaring up from long range, Westbrook is always dangerous.
Now here's Lillard. 5 points in the game. Whiteside, the pass to Carmelo. Portland moving the ball around. From downtown. And no good. Great D that time from Westbrook. Down low. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
They'll name a couple past superstars that didn't always get enough credit for being as dominant as they were.
Moses Malone would be my number one pick. Probably the best player in the league for 5 years. Dominant in '83, they won the title. And Philly really gave Kareem a lot of problems. And was just awesome, and has now just been swept under the rug. Nobody even really remembers. So I would go with him first.
Ever.
Never. Well, it was part of the problem. There were tape delaying games back then, and we didn't have league pass. We didn't have a lot of that stuff. I think he was really underrated, and you kind of never know who's going to endure and who's not going to endure, which is one of the reasons I wrote my book.
They're trying to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, they had to do something, anything to stop this run. You can't just let it go on any longer.
So for the Trailblazers, Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Whiteside. And Trevor Ariza has subbed in for Rodney Hood. Lillard against Westbrook. McCollum left side. Good D by Covington.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
That shot is off.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
You know, that's a trademark of his defense. Quick to react, close down the shooter, and then affect the shot.
Yep, that one goes. And Bill, when it comes to NBA awards, some people have said voter fatigue is a factor. Would you agree with that?
No, I actually think NBA awards are in the best shape they've been in because people are afraid to screw up. You know, with the internet and the accountability we have now.
Accountability, exactly.
And
There's nothing anonymous about it.
No. And we have really good numbers and metrics now, and I actually think we make the right decisions with this stuff most of the time now. I didn't really see any egregious stuff last year other than the one person who voted Dwayne Wade for second team All-NBA.
You get a vote, don't you?
I do, and I take it really seriously.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
I really care
Our
about
name
it.
is attached to it.
Yeah. I also, when I wrote my book, I really relied on the All-NBA stuff. They're a snapshot of what happened that season.
Good point. Here's a reason. Following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Back to Lillard. Over Harden. And off the left side of the rim. And it swirls in for him. And that's 12 points for Lillard.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to wheel his team back in the game.
Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
Now, here's Lillard. 12 points for him. McCollum outside. It's Ariza on the wing. It's hauled in by Gordon.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the board.
Oh, man.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Every time out, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And I agree. I think there's going to be a new wrinkle in their game plan when they come out of this timeout.
Houston making some changes. Daniel House comes in for Robert Covington. And McLemore subbed in for Gordon. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Whiteside's checked in for Nurkic. Little comes in for Anthony. Rodney Hood's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Simons in for Lillard. Now here's McCollum. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Passes it to Simons. Poke loose. And now it's Westbrook running. He can go all the way.
Oh, are you kidding me? He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime.
And why not? A little salt in the wound. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys reeling and on the ropes.
They get it again. Kicks it out to McCollum. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Stick away.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago.
And Whiteside sends it back.
And Whiteside takes great pride in rejecting shots. Outstanding at getting his arms up and denying shooters.
Trailblazers trail by 9. Simons, the pass to Whiteside. Outside Hood. Here's the 3. They get it back. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
You know, it's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going.
And that sixth sense, guys, might be better than just about anybody else's.
Here is Harden after Nasir Little's bucket. That one good for 2.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Now here's Hood. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shot clock at 6. Here's Whiteside. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Whiteside's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, and the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
The 3 from Harden. That one's not going to go. Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for the Houston Rockets. They kept going to him again and again, and he delivered with a monster quarter. We've got more in store for you right after this. The leadership mantle, something that Damian Lillard welcomes. He talked about what that means to him.
A lot of responsibility. When things go bad, people are going to look to you first. They're going to point the finger at you first. And when things go well, they're going to give you the credit. So I think it's just a balance of those two things, being willing to be that guy and being excited about it. I think you got to have fun with it.
Right on the money as always. Lillard has excelled in that leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, he plays with so much confidence and composure, but also it's the way he includes his teammates and gets to know them as individuals that makes him a franchise player.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Rockets.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Then it's Ben McLemore. Then it's P.J. Tucker. And it's House in at the 4. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. Whiteside, shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
You know, guys, you've got to give much respect to the length of Whiteside. I mean, he's a hulking 7-footer who takes a lot of pride in being the defensive anchor for this team.
Bill, when it comes to opinions on Russell Westbrook's game, people have a lot of different points of view. What's your thought?
I mean, there's never been a more polarizing player in this generation than him. And I didn't think he was the MVP 2 years ago. I actually thought he was a little underrated last year. I voted for him for the second team All-NBA because he just plays hard every single night, and he's frustrating, and he's going to do 7 things in a game that you don't like, and he takes too many shots, and he's hard to play with. But the force of personality and the intensity he has night after night after night in this league where everybody's load management and picking their spots, like I really respect it. So I've come around a little bit. I think I don't know how much longer it's going to last.
He's a warrior.
Like one of those football running backs.
Yes.
It's like, oh man. And that's what it's like to watch Westbrook.
That's a good comparison.
McCollum's carved out an impressive NBA career for himself, and I think he's still ascending. He was the 10th pick in the 2013 NBA draft. He's still got plenty of upside.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving. And drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the strike, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Here's McCollum following the basket by Russell Westbrook. McCollum against Westbrook.
Yeah, a hard-nosed defender. Tucker gets up into your grill and tries to intimidate you.
Harden's shot is off. Trailblazers trail by 11. The Rockets perpetually knocking on the door. At what point, though, Bill, do you think their window will close?
I think that point happened in May of 2019. I think they had 2 years to win the title where everything was lined up for them. 2018, they're up 3-2 against the Warriors. The Warriors are tired. They seem like they're fading. They can't close. I think the key for them is the difference between being a regular season team and a playoff team. They're a great regular season team, but the playoffs every year become more and more complicated, smarter, more, you got to come up with a plan C, a plan D, a plan E as the series goes along, and their plan A is kind of what they ride with. They get tight, the crowd gets tight, things slow down. What's your plan B? And they haven't been able to figure that out.
A nice shot by Tucker. Tucker's got the lead up to 11 now for the Rockets.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Trent. He's still scoreless so far in this one.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
McLemore inside the line. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
And this is why coaches talk about playing with pace. The scoreboard tells it all.
That really has been the difference. I mean, they've been the better team in transition.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could.
We've seen those kinds of plays get them going in the past.
Westbrook kicks it to Tucker. But they'll get another chance. No good on the triple. To the inside, Trent. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. Trent's got his first bucket in this one.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Tucker can't get it to go. Trailblazers trail by 9. And at one point, seems like ISO basketball was falling out of favor, Bill, but the Rockets have made a cornerstone of their success, that very thing.
True. For the regular season. And
right,
for the
and then it
early
changes,
rounds.
doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, I do wonder if it's like the run and shoot with football, where it's this...
You don't trust it, maybe? You don't trust it?
Yeah, it's for the regular season. You're playing a team once. They don't have time to scout it for a bunch of weeks, but... You know, when you get to the playoffs, you're playing the same team 7 times.
Scouting gets better.
Yeah, and players, you just played it 2 nights ago. You did play it against the same offense. You pick up little tricks. And I really wonder if you can win 4 straight rounds doing it.
Robert Covington's checked in for James Harden. Lillard's checked in for the Trailblazers. Here's McCollum. Here's Whiteside. And it's rebounded by Covington. Covington's got his 4th rebound in this one. The Rockets with another miss.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Not at all. I mean, that's where they want him looking for a teammate, not trying to do it on his own. He needs to share the wealth there.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Westbrook, no good.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Now here's Hood. No points in the game yet for him.
That's his 2nd foul of the first half. Not a big deal yet, but something to keep an eye on.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. That free throw good from Hood. Houston making a switch here. Gordon's checked in. And a switch here also for Portland. Nurkic is checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. And, Bill, we've seen more and more teams base their offenses around three-point shooters. Threes are at an all-time high. We know that. Should the NBA, that in mind, do anything to address this via any rule change? Which I don't know what that would mean, but it has been talked about.
I don't like changing. I think it's going to manifest itself with it doesn't work in the playoffs as well. And teams are going to slowly realize like that you need to blend an inside-outside game at least a little bit.
Well, you can't lose what the game is.
No,
it's bigs and smalls, it's inside, it's outside.
And it's still passing and unselfishness. The Warriors take a lot of threes, but they're the most unselfish team we have, and they create a lot of layups, and they play, they're really creative. And you just can't, that just can't be your thing as we shoot 53s. Here's our offense. The problem is you're still going to get in these games where 2 points really matters, and that's what you saw with Kawhi in the playoffs last year. These games slow down, it's going to be a 92 to 89 ending, and your team needs to get 10 baskets in the 4th quarter. No matter how you're going to get them, you still need somebody who can do that too.
Stolen by Westbrook. And it's Houston on the break. Covington wide open. He fires. No good from outside.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Lillard outside. Portland again missing. Rockets leading by 7. Bounce pass Gordon, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Houston shooting their 2nd and 3rd shots at the line right here. First free throw is good. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Hezonja's checked in. Both shots good from the stripe. Portland with the ball. 1:56 left to play here in the half. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
The Trailblazers have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Little, he's checked in for Portland. Reza comes in for C.J. McCollum.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Westbrook scanning the floor. Ariza against Gordon. Over Ariza. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And the 3 ball is good. Westbrook's got 26.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher. And coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
And entertaining as always, Bill, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. I don't want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I
They're
don't want
off
to see
the
that
schedule.
team. Let's do the other teams.
Okay. And Clark, you know what? Bill will always give you a great point of view.
And you know what? I think he needs his own barbershop talk show, Kevin. I mean, he's done everything else in media. Go barbershop on him, Bill.
And really the defense defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
That free throw missing. Greg, let's take a look at Nasir Little. More power and athleticism at this point than skill, wouldn't you say?
I mean, no doubt. As an amateur, he could rely on the physical gifts to dominate. But in the NBA, you have to be able to shoot and handle with confidence. I think Little will get there because he has a tremendous work ethic.
If they time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
Lets it fly. It's good. And the Rocket lead is cut to just 5 points on the basket from Ariza.
Yeah, you know, Lillard has been so good at finding the open man, puts a lot of zip on his passes, and he knows he's responsible for getting his teammates the ball.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Outside Collins. And the pass to Nurkic. Collins kicks to Lillard. 6 to shoot. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Lillard's got 7 points here in this quarter. Westbrook with it. Shoots over Lillard. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And that's 31 points for Russell Westbrook. And the first half is now in the books. Rockets ahead, up 7. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, but I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He ended up with 31 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. He seems to have carried the momentum from his last game right into tonight. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Well, we know Westbrook's going to be aggressive, attack off the dribble. But when he plays under control, like he has tonight, that's when this game goes to another level.
And Kenny, what did you see from Portland?
I thought they were definitely outworked on the defensive end. They showed a lack of hustle, a lack of physicality. They weren't staying in front of their guys and putting bodies on people. It's critical that they improve their defensive effort in the second half.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
Well, he left his mark on that first half with his quick hands. Great sense of timing to pile up the steals.
Well, I thought it was a great defensive performance for him so far. He's aware, he's alive, he's alert, quick to react to everything that's going on around him. Can't do it much better than that.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for Houston. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Little out there with Trevor Ariza. Then it's Damian Lillard. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Trent in at the shooting guard.
And it's easy to see why a team would want Ariza on their roster. Makes the right decisions, mentors young players, and is well respected throughout the league.
And he knocks down the first one. Clark, you were so prolific in so many areas of the game. Which part of basketball came the easiest for you?
I think the rebounding piece. I always had a knack for sniffing out missed shots and had the size and timing and hands to chase down rebounds, but that was probably the strength of my game and the most unique part of it at an early age. And then the ball handling. My dad was 6'4" in the 50s, which meant he pretty much played inside, and he drummed into my head and my heart. Make sure you can handle that ball. So from the time I started playing, I was dribbling and making sure I could handle it, and it served me well during my playing career.
The first free throw is good. Well, Eric Gordon is the kind of player that you absolutely do not go under on a screen. He'll pull up from deep.
Yeah, he's got great range, and you watch the former Hoosiers shoot, and you see how much he uses his legs. Gordon's liable to take a shot from any distance in the gym. I mean, he's got that kind of range, and his form is very effective.
My goodness. And once they rolled the ball out there, Lillard turned on the switch. He is doing it all tonight.
Rockets leading by 5. Harden outside. Outside Gordon. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. And it's 6 points for Eric Gordon.
He just sagged off just enough, and no hesitation on his part.
And Lillard gets it to go.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Trailblazers trail by 8. Covington with the steal. Launches a 3, and again it's the Rockets from deep.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
And a deep 3 from Lillard. Offensive rebound, Little. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Little's got 5 now.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
It's Ariza on the wing, defended by Gordon. Lillard dishes to Little, back to Lillard, over Westbrook. That shot misses, and the Rockets take it the other way. After this one, they're off to Denver to take on the Nuggets. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Here's Harden on the wing. Banked in off the glass. 6 points for him.
Not many guys have a handle like James Harden, exceptional at slicing up the defense.
Pass to Nurkic. Now Lillard, 23 points in the game, gets the 3-pointer to fall.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
Rockets leading by 8. Outside Gordon. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Trent, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Ring shot on the way. No good off the back of the rim.
Boy, defense non-existent there, but they catch a break as he whiffs.
Outside Gordon, the 3, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. 9 points for Eric Gordon.
And really, the 3-point shot is Gordon's specialty, Kevin. When he squares himself up, there's a real high chance he's dropping it in.
3-pointer, Lillard. It's rebounded by Houston.
Tell you what, the defense was lucky there. I mean, leave him that open from range, he'll typically knock it down. Well, I don't think he's performing up to his own expectations, but they still find themselves out in front.
Well, it's no secret that the Rockets are looking to take threes as often as possible. Over 45 a game last year.
Well, you think about the Rockets, and clearly they're the forerunners of the analytics application in how they play. Well over half their shots last season from three-point range. Broke their own record last year in three-point attempts.
And the Rockets making a change here. House is checked in. And a switch here also for Portland. Swanigan, he's checked in for Little. House the pass to Harden. And stolen by Lillard. Ariza outside. Up again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Rockets leading by 9. And here's Harden. He has 6. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Nurkic has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Left side, Ariza. Back to Lillard. Here's Trent. And he's way off from outside.
Yeah, but the defenders draped all over him. He just could not shake loose.
Count that bucket. 8 points for James Harden.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Trent. Pass to Swanigan. 5 on the clock. Here's Trent from deep. Rebounded by Covington. Covington's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
Guys, I tell you what, feels like everything is coming easy to him. Just taking what he sees and capitalizing.
Passes it to Lillard. From deep 3-point range. Rebounded by Tucker.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check. It was maybe a step out of his range.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And the level of detail that Robert Covington approaches defense with is just phenomenal. He is always prepared for his matchup.
Yeah, and that's why he's an outstanding defender, Kevin, because he's got the physical attributes. He's got excellent speed and quickness for a guy of his size, good length and strength, outstanding hands. But he does a nice job of studying his opponent and what he needs to do to be effective defensively. I think he's one of the better defenders in the game and on the wing.
McLemore's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Trailblazers trail by 15. Lillard outside. Here's McCollum. Anthony kicks to Whiteside. Outside Hood. Shot clock at 6. Drains it from beyond the arc. Hood's got 5 points so far.
And I don't care how far from the bucket he is. You've got to have a man on him. He's just too good from deep.
Harden against Lillard. Now, here is Harden, guarded closely. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Anthony's got 6 rebounds now in the game. The pass to Lillard. Unloads. No good that time. The Rockets go the other way with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. McLemore, the pass to Harden. For 3, Covington. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
That one's in there. The Rocket lead is cut down to 12 points. The points that time coming from Anthony.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
And so Hood will bring it up for the Trailblazers. Here's Lillard, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Lillard's got 30.
And you know what? He's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Lillard against Harden. This one for 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Harden's got 9 points here in the second half.
And, you know, Harden is super reliable from outside the arc. He's got that sweet lefty stroke, and it's a thing of beauty to watch.
And so it's Houston, 13 points up at the end of the period. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. We'll return shortly. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
Dan, he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, you can't run away from the DNA. When he's running the show, he makes sweet highlight reel plays night in and night out.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Harden out there with McLemore. Then it's Robert Covington. Then there's Gordon. And it's House in at the 4. That's the 5 for Houston right now. McCollum feeling it out a bit. Over Harden. They get the rebound. And the jam by Whiteside.
And Hassan Whiteside in this deep. Forget about it, Kevin. I mean, he's great at getting inside and finishing with force.
Rockets leading by 11. Now here's McLemore. Harden outside. His three-pointers off the mark. Trailblazers shooting around 40% from the floor here. McCollum left side. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target.
Yeah, that's another miss for him. They're behind in this game largely because he shot so poorly. Outstanding execution. Good job working the ball inside.
Trailblazers trail by 13. Dishes to Lillard. Back to McCollum. Right side trying to break free. And there's McCollum. That's good on the assist by Lillard. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player. And no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Harden kicks to Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Covington. Lets the three fly. McLemore, no good. For Portland, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Lillard dishes to Whiteside. And looking at the numbers for Whiteside the last few years, Greg, it seems like his production has come back down a bit.
And for a minute, Whiteside looked like he could be a dominant center, but he struggled since his great 2017 season. Shot selection has been hurting, and sometimes it feels like he is in his own way as a player.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. P.J. Tucker comes in for Daniel House. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Eric Gordon. Inside, stolen by McCollum. The floater. Second shot opportunity. And it's laid in by Whiteside. Whiteside's got 5 points in the quarter.
Guys, they're just getting outworked. I mean, plain and simple. It's got to be more of a collective effort to secure that backcourt.
Yeah, and when you take a look at the stat sheet, they've got to do something to cut down on these second chance points. Box out and get to the defensive board.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense, moving, spacing, dynamic players. Defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
Trevor Ariza is checked in for Hood. From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. He said, this is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play. In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
It's Ariza on the wing. Defended by Covington. Ariza against Covington. Ariza passes to Anthony. Over McLemore. Trailblazers keep it alive. Whiteside kicks to Anthony. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And they've shown a little extra hustle on the offensive glass here in the second half. Second chance points are starting to add up for them, and they can use every one of them.
And Clark, part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks and knows that his team is better off that way.
Harden the pass to Covington. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 4 assists in the game.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Westbrook with the bucket.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's McCollum. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on James Harden. Clark, what would your dream backcourt look like if you were going to design one? What would it look like?
Well, they'd have good size and athleticism, somewhere in that 6'3" to 6'6" range, and the ability to make plays for themselves and others, and also be very solid at the defensive end. You know, you think about some guys that would fit that bill. I look at a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who really gives it to you in multiple ways as a backcourt player. And I like the scoring of Damian Lillard.
Agreed. Reza passes it to Anthony. Rockets with the rebound. Mack with the ball. Pass to Covington. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Mark, we've had sponsors on the uniforms for a couple of seasons now. Do you think everyone's grown used to seeing them?
Yeah, I think it's a normal part of the landscape, and it will take a little more time. I've noticed them myself as I've watched games. We're certainly a far cry from looking like NASCAR drivers, which I think is a good thing. You want them to be done visibly, but not overdone.
Gordon's checked in for Houston. Hood for 3. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Westbrook's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Harden with it. Now guarded by Hood. Yes, that goes in.
He's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Westbrook against Lillard. It's tipped. McCollum, no good.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Another shot, and Whiteside sends it back. Outside Hood, pass to McCollum. Back to Hood. Fires from deep. Pass to Lillard. Lock at 6. And here we go. Harden into the hoop.
Boy, one of the things about Covington is that his length bothers the opposing players. I mean, he's somebody that takes defense seriously and looks to pilfer the ball whenever he can.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
Well, you know, he's destroying them right now, guys. This defense has to make an adjustment to try and cool him off.
For our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
This was a big game for him. There's no denying that. Coming off a bunch of losses in a row, they turned to him to break the streak, and he delivered in a big way. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Houston.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
So he gets them both.
And look, a tough rookie season for Zach Collins, but boy, he's bounced back. Much better in terms of shooting, showing why he was taken in the top 10 back in 2017.
To the paint, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
And when Covington gets on a hot streak, look out. Really filling it up from all spots on the floor.
Here's McCollum, and the rejection by Harden. And there's the pass to Westbrook. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter of this one. 6 on the shot clock. Harden draws the double, and a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And you look at Collins, able to protect the rim and space the floor offensively.
And fits that modern template for an NBA center. Time will tell how good he can be, but he's already making an impact.
Houston moving it around. And here's Covington from the arc. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Rockets.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
Yeah, I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And they took charge when it counted, and will be notching their 9th win overall.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Russell Westbrook.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Lillard from outside. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Westbrook. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And here's McCollum for 3. And so the ball out of bounds. McCollum touched it last. Substitution. 20 seconds left in the fourth. Well, this one is winding down now. Houston can watch the clock run out. Clement, he's guarded by McCollum. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Russell. We often are told that the first game at home after a long road trip is like the last game of the road trip. How important was getting this win here?
It's huge, man. Coming off the loss last night, a tough one, and it was a great win for us. Got back in front of our home crowd, and we played great.
We'll see if the home cooking can keep you going. Thanks, Russell.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.